Okay, we're back to the boat today, and unfortunately there's been a bit of an internal leak, so we had to take part of the sole up to see how bad it was. Luckily it wasn't as bad as we thought it might have been. But in removing and replacing the step, we found a bit of a problem. So wifey is just cutting them down so we can batten it in place. She has this wonderful Japanese saw.
Look at how beautiful. That's the side I was cut.
It's lovely, isn't it? Apparently Japanese saws pull on the cut on the pull stroke rather than the push stroke. Lovely. Very nice.
I love my saw.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get more saws like that.
Super. So that will now be, the batten will go down and the stairs will be fixed, step will be fixed in place. And meanwhile I've been desperately trying to film me removing the wood from around this window, but my other camera is being an arse about the whole thing. So we've removed this section here and this section here, and you can see what sort of muck we're having to deal with. And now I need to remove this section and the rest of this, but I need to remove the top of the wardrobe, which is eventually going to come out anyway, so we can replace this bulkhead. The same on this side. Right, so I've removed the top of the wardrobe so we can have much more of a chance of getting this out. I need to get past this screw and that screw, and the same on the other side of the bulkhead, so that we can wiggle it out top and bottom. So I'm just going to molest that section and wrestle with that section, and we'll see how long we can get before. I mean, it doesn't even matter if we damage the bulkhead because it's coming out anyway, but one would prefer not to.
No, yes.
Oh, so close. Yeah. Now wifey's taken over the demolition duties.
things to do. Yeah, because there's a little screw there as well. We couldn't have left that in.
Yeah.
Right. Now to undo some bolts and nuts. And
So screwdrivers and water brake first.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Let me fix that.
Yeah, that'll do.
Right, there you go. That's the worst way imaginable to remove the surround from a window on a boat. But we've done it now. So now we just need to unscrew. Clean the hull, clean the window, get butyl on the window, get it back in place. And then that is the last of the side windows, and then it will be these two forward windows. But we'll see how time moves on, because we do need to investigate those. There's a lot of bent alley and oxidised aluminium, and
these ones here. Focus on those. No, or not. There we go. These ones, I'm not entirely sure.
yeah.
Because then normal screws on the other side, and then they look like that on this side. So
They'll just be capped nuts. So you have a screw of a very specific length, designed for the profile and thickness of the hull, and it will just seat itself when it's tight. It will just seat itself flush with the back of the nut, or just touching the cap. And I have seen that one actually. You can get a fingernail under there, so they might be push-ons.
Oh, like the ones in the ceiling, you mean? Or not in the ceiling, but yeah.
Yeah, and the sealing on the lining, yeah. But we'll see.
Okay.
We'll worry about that at some other point in time. So let's stop and have a drink of water.
Yes.
Oh, sneaky view of wifey outside the boat. We've got most of the screws out now. There are a few hangers on. So unfortunately, this dude, for instance, we're having to drill out, which is a miserable, long, tiresome job at this angle. I've got one and a bit out. My wife is just doing the bit of the second one, then there's a couple of more to do. It's a miserable, miserable job. So we need to crack on. Hey folks, here we are again. Hey. Okay. This window is now out. It was a bit of a dog, and actually it's not in as bad a state as the other ones, but it was very much putted in place. I'm going to strip all that off. The state of the lining here is actually worse than in the other sections. So next year, or the year after, once we've actually had a bit of time to enjoy the boat, what I intend to do is to tidy all of this muck up somehow. Wifey's just getting ready to clean the window down there. All the scrapers and potions and so on. So we will crack on with that because time is getting on. It's coming on for 5 o'clock and it is quite cold today. So we want to get this done nice and quick. And that'll be one less point of water ingress to worry about. So once again we're here late. It's I don't know what time it is, to be brutally honest. Probably about 6ish, I'd imagine, maybe even past. And we're just putting the butyl on. Wifey's just putting the butyl on, and we're going to have 2 layers, I believe. Are we, darling?
Yes.
2 layers of butyl tape, which will then squidge nice and firmly into the hull as we have on the other windows. And then once it's bedded in and we've finished, because I really don't think we're going to have time to do all the screws today, but as long as we do sort of every third one, it will be more than sufficient to keep it watertight for the moment. And then next weekend we'll come back and we'll trim round them all, make sure all the screws are in and all that sort of happy jazz. It is a little bit chilly and we have rushed this a tiny bit so that we can get it finished tonight. Wifey's got work tomorrow and I've got medical appointments and stuff, so we need to be at least vaguely conscious in the morning. Nice. So there's the first layer on. Looking fantastic. Okay, well, I don't think anybody needs to see the second one going on because it's exactly the same. Okay, I'm nearly out of power, so this is going to have to be a very quick closing of the weekend's work. We've got the window back in, all the lovely butyl. Still needs dressing and stuff, but it's in and it's solid, and that ain't going to leak no more. So that's wonderful, wonderful news. But we do have some power on the boat. It's lovely because it is, once again, late night in the boatyard. So we are going to go home via a certain famous fast food restaurant. I'll start turning lights off. And then I will edit and render this weekend's video. And we will talk later in the week, hopefully. Toodle poodles. Say goodbye, wifey.